I'm kind of crashing. I don't know why. Could have swore I had enough candy. So I found this cool little park called Guy W. Talbot Park. And it's a nice little hidden gem with a lot of picnic tables. It's by Latourell Falls, which is going to be my hike today. Let's see. There's bathrooms and lots of trees. Man, it is time to change out my footwear. I brought my trusty Jetboil, which I just like to use any chance I get, so I'll probably be having a little picnic here when I get back. So we are gonna go that way and start with the falls and then come back around. Yeah, there's so many nice little nooks out here. It's right by the creek, so you can see the waterfall and have some lunch. And this is a really cool looking waterfall too. You'll see it in a second, but I have never even heard of this one before. And it's kind of a nice little setup, and it's not as popular as Multnomah Falls. Well, it doesn't seem like it to me anyways. Definitely worth checking out. It's the closest one after the View House. Got a lot of old bridges like that around here. Here's the start. Seems to be pretty heavily trafficked, which is to be expected for the gorge. So the trail actually just goes up along the left side of it, so you can get higher and higher shots. If you have a camera with a good lens on it, you can get shots from bottom to the top on these falls. And it's pretty steep at first too. It's rated as moderate, and you can tell that right off the bat. There's a nice bench up here right at the top. That's the parking lot all the way down there. That's where I stopped the last video. You can come off the trail a bit here. A little dangerous. That's where the waterfalls fall. And that's the drop off. Got some nice big ponderosas here. This is the creek before it. It'd be just like a movie to accidentally drift down there. I don't want to do that. Little side trail with the creek that falls like 200 feet. It's pretty flat now. That first part, getting up to the same height as the falls, is definitely a stairmaster though. This is the upper falls. I think I heard something about it. Pretty sure waterfalls ionize the air. Something like that. I'll have to look it up later. So it's like good for you. Just the noise is relaxing. Already on my way back. This one's a shouty. If you got a little bit of time, or this is perfect for if you work weekdays and you want to get a hike in before the sun goes down, you can get out here in 30 minutes and do this hike in an hour. And the sun doesn't set now till 7 and it's getting later every night. So Latourell Falls is a good weekday hike. There's a lot of families out here. Besides that initial ascent, it's not too bad and you can take your time. I've seen all ages on this trail, so you can get some really good pictures. Both the falls are really scenic. The people that don't wear masks on the trail will sometimes try to like figure out a way to pull their jacket up over their face, and it's like, how many people have you run into on the trail and had to do that over and over again? And it doesn't bother me really. I mean, oh, there's a log crossing. I'm on this side now. I was over there. That is one hell of a drop off. It just goes, so you're like standing, there's no land 10 feet under you. As a rule of thumb, I stay 6 feet back from really tall ledges like that, maybe a little less. If I'm crouched down, but it's kind of a general rule. I heard that somewhere actually. Kind of like your height. So if you fell straight forward without catching any air, that your entire body would still be on land. It's kind of a good guideline. Better than being off land for an extended period of time until you meet it again. That would be worse. Cool tree. You could sit on that branch and charge a toll. You have to wear a weird hat though. 5 pence to cross, please. So, took me about an hour if I was just doing it without filming. 2.5 miles. Yeah. Pretty steep on the way down too, obviously. It's gonna be the same distance, but this is a nice hike. It's in this beautiful park. I'm definitely gonna go have a picnic in now. Definitely kind of a warmer day. I'm gonna change back into my sandals, and I'm gonna try this new camping food I bought at the store. Even though I could just go to a restaurant right now and not have freeze-dried food. That wouldn't be as fun, would it? It's really important to remember what sock goes back on what foot for later. Left. Right. Handy dandy new silverware. I always get these taken at airports. Well, I used to. I don't make that mistake anymore. Just stir it up and then let it sit in the bag for 5 minutes, and then stir again and let it sit in the bag for another 5 minutes. Would I do this hike again? Yes, definitely. I'll probably do it a lot. It's got this nice area to have a picnic in. Just waiting for my food to sit long enough to be cooked. It's super close, and the falls are beautiful. The vert's a good workout, but it's not too long, so you could push it and probably run it up and down the first part if you wanted to work out or whatever. I like this park too because it's nearby. And there's a puppy. Are you coming over here? Because you're gonna get some pets. Baby. Yeah, this is a great hike. And it's nearby. I'd say just come and do this today, whenever you're seeing it. Especially if it's a nice day and you don't got a lot of time left, you can get the jump on this one. There's just a few hours left in the day. Also, if you don't know if you want to hike or not, but you know you want to get outside, just start driving here and park it to Talbot Park and just have a picnic. And if you feel like walking a bit, you can walk 0.2 miles down this path from Talbot Park to see the lower falls, and you can at least just get out and see some stuff. So, no strenuous activity required, really.